and we will touch upon it today. Today's discourse is the way of peace, all about peace, and why Jesus Christ came as the Prince of Peace. And we will also explain how our brain has a lot to, how it's connected to the energy of peace, and a lot about the brain. Okay. As we understand, peace starts from within. And the definition of peace is, and we got this from Wikipedia, thank you, Wikipedia. Peace is a concept of societal friendship and harmony in the absence of hostility and violence. In a social sense, peace is commonly used to mean a lack of conflict, such as war, and freedom from fear of violence between individuals or groups. The word peace is a noun, and it's freedom from disturbance. The synonym is tranquility. So peace, when we are at peace, it not only changes our DNA, by changing the DNA, it also changes our brain. So let's talk about the brain and what has been happening to the brain. 75,000 years ago, and that's not too long ago, scientists discovered that 75,000 years ago, there was an evolution of the human brain, which they call the superbrain. And this was when the scientists discovered the neocortex was formed only 75,000 years ago. What is the neocortex? Neo means new. Cortex is bark, a covering. It covers 75–80% of our brain. And this neocortex gives human beings the capacity to judge, make judgments, differentiate good from evil. It gives the human beings the ability to create, to invent, to really think in a whole different way out of the box. And this was also the beginning of collective consciousness. So there was a sudden appearance of art, of music, of art appreciation and creativity, or creative expression. And a lot of scientists equate this with the story of the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve. When Eve presented Adam this fruit of knowledge, Adam took a bite from it. And from that moment, he knew good from evil. So Adam and Eve hid in the bushes. And God asked, "Where art thou, Adam?" And Adam said, "I'm here, hiding." And God asked Adam, "Why are you hiding?" And Adam said, "It's because we're naked." He realized they were naked. They were given a new skin. So this is why scientists believe this is, it's so closely related to the birth of the neocortex. They don't know how it was and why it happened at this time. Anyway, it's happening again. There is an explosion of the neurocortex. And what scientists are finding are mirror neurons. And these mirror neurons dissolve the barrier between the ego self, the narcissistic self, and others. Let's give an example of this, what these mirror neurons do within us. When we see someone in pain or an animal in pain, many of us can actually feel the pain. When we see violence on the news or TV, we feel the violence like it's actually happening. So this is how we are connecting, and not only connecting, but co-creating our reality. So those of us who don't quite understand neurons, here is the definition. They are the fundamental units of the brain and nervous system. The cells responsibility for the sensory input from the external world and for sending motor commands to our muscles and more, and it does so much more. So without these neurons, we won't be able to experience this planet, our five senses. We won't be able to express ourselves, move our muscles, move our body, and do any of the creative things that we do. So it was only in 1998, 22 years ago, that neuroscientists discovered these mirror neurons, and that these new neurons are continually being generated in the adult brain. This is amazing. So over the past 20 years, scientists have found that the brain is much more plastic. So what does this mean? Quote, the circuitry in the brain can be changed by outside as well as inside events. So what has been happening in the past 20 years with this explosion of the neocortex and with these mirror neurons is that we are not only human beings. When we say we, because we're all connected to all the kingdoms, angelic, plant, mineral, animal, we are stepping into the fifth dimensional reality. So even our chakras are changing. And instead of working with the 7 major chakras, we are now working with the 12 major chakras. And we will be sharing with you about the light body. And during the Tibetan times, when they were working with the rainbow light body, it was just 5 colors, the 5 major colors, representing the 5 major elements, representing the star, 5-pointed star, which gives us dominion over the earth, sky, and sea, and all that's in it. So the 5-pointed star, what are the 5 elements? Earth, water, fire, air, and the etheric realm. Then we started working with more dimensions. And so now our rainbow light body has more than 5, 6, 7, 12 dimensions. So karmically, we are starting with a clean slate. And anyone born before 2002, we are all carbon-based. And those born after 2002 are now crystalline-based. They think faster, they're quicker, they're more pliable. Their brain is more plastic, more pliable. We are now realizing, not just scientists, but all of humanity, that everything is light and energy, and our connectivity. So in the past 20 years, we've been stepping into a new skin, just like how Adam and Eve stepped into a new skin. Therefore, when we gaze upon a piece of art, be it sacred, symbolic, whatever, when we gaze upon the violence in the news, or what's, all the violence that is happening upon the world, in the world, when we gaze upon anything, it is in our reality, it is actually happening to us. This is how the mirror neurons work. And this is how we create our own reality. And so it is being scientifically proven. And in our class, we will talk about, share with you how Google and other companies are experimenting with this, creating their own version of the new superhuman. And it's scary, exciting, dangerous, so on and so forth. We are already in ourselves creating, being co-creators of God. We are creating our reality, our own superhuman being. Therefore, it's important we stop witnessing or stop gazing upon this violence in our news, because it isn't real. It's created by us, because we say it's true. Violence on television. If you notice, there is more and more violence in video games and in movies, on television, in music, even in art. Yes, it's an expression of our emotion, but more and more we gaze upon it and listen and using our senses and getting involved with the violence, the more we say it's real, the more it becomes our reality. That is why your reality may not be my reality. My reality may not be your reality. We are no longer, our minds are not just limited to what's on this planet. Our minds are reaching out universally, spatially, cosmically. So it's important to stop the poor me or feeling sorry for ourselves, because this isn't the real you. This isn't the reality. This is actually very exciting times. We are all choosing to play a role. Even Lucifer chose to play a role, all bringing us to this time, to this space, to this point. Therefore, do not judge. That's the old brain. Judgments, conclusions, assumptions. Because that person, place, thing we're judging as good, bad, ugly, beautiful, we're judging ourselves. For we have been that, we are all connected. And that person, place, thing, animal has chosen to play a role to not only help them ascend, but to help all of us ascend in consciousness. So choose to be at peace. Allow peace to be still. Welcome peace. For peace opens the door to truth, and truth guides us into love and understanding. Thank you. Please prepare for deep level meditation.